What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Virgin Galactic, ticker is SPCE. So got a very interesting day at hand. I'm going to give you a good breakdown of the data points and things that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So currently down 11.47% as far as volume, 15 million for volume. Currently 8.1 is the average. And today, unfortunately, is the first day it is at least once again below that 1 billion market cap. And today it's largely down just because of this, because of Virgin Orbit and them filing for bankruptcy. And in all honesty, I do anticipate a lot more bankruptcies being announced over the coming quarters. Especially, I think it's been affecting a lot of companies that are very heavily reliant on debt, and especially with the current environment of the economy right now, higher interest rate is just affecting a lot of these growth stocks, such as even Virgin Galactic potentially as well. So again, it's just something you need to always be very cautious about, because even when it comes down to Virgin Galactic, there is no guarantee. It's a very high risk, but yet potentially high return investment. So make sure you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. As far as on the technical stance, I'll give you guys a good overview of that. So it is well below a lot of the pivotal moving averages as far as some of the fib levels that you do need to watch for. So $3.33 is that S2, and coincidentally, that's exactly what it did bounce off of. So in reality, I do see it kind of being wedge bound between that S2 and S1. I don't see it being enough justification to break below $3.33, but of course, if it does, you can kind of see within the range, so $2.57. So definitely a lot of feeder potentially. So we are staring off of a virtual cliff as of right now. So once again, just be aware of that. And just to put it in perspective, I want to go over some stuff with you as well. One of which is options activity. So as of today, there's been a lot more puts being purchased, insinuating downside is coming as well. So currently $2.31 million worth of puts being purchased compared to 1.18 million for calls. So like I said, just a little bit more of a downtrend. And when it comes down to options though, just be aware it doesn't necessarily move the stock price. This is just a little bit more of a sentiment behind the scenes. But over and above that though, as you can tell based on the sentiment, it is just very much negative, and it's been negative for a while now, even more so over the last month. Majority of the time it's just been negative. So especially it does coincide with the stock price as well, and number of actual transactions. So as you can see, there's been no real transactions on the, for instance, the secondary market over $100,000. So a little bit more of a stepping back from institutions. And as far as dark pool, I'll give you guys a quick overview of that. So as far as dark pool transactions, there is a little bit more activity today. Negative side is you can't necessarily tell what the actual transaction was, whether it was a buy or a sell, because all you do see when it comes down to dark pool was the price it did sell for. But regardless though, whenever there's a seller, there's a buyer. So technically there is buyers out there, one of which, and most recently, $1.44 million. And that was actually just recently done around an hour ago or so. And that one is very abnormal. So as you can see, the last time it's been over at least $1 million in one transaction has been several months at least, or at least a month. So let me know your thoughts on that. And like I mentioned, sentiment being very much negative. Shorts sometimes take advantage of that, but oddly enough today, they're actually not. They're returning almost about 100,000 shares. Still though, 24.41% of the free float's being shorted, 55.82 million shares being overall shorted. Cost to borrow is for the most part going up a little bit compared to yesterday, so average is 2.3%. So like I've said in the past, I don't anticipate space being or Virgin being a squeeze play. Just bringing this up as a benchmark more so, and looking here at some indicators that I like to look at. So for instance, stochastic, there is oddly enough, even though it is at 15, which is considered very much oversold, you do see a bear sentiment, at least behind the scenes a little bit, and number of retail investors have just been getting out ever since March the 3rd around that. So definitely they smelt a little bit more fear potentially coming, or at least bad things coming. And more so as well from an economic standpoint, the data points have been fairly good. So not really justifying all of this downtrend potentially. I think a lot of this was also because of the Feds as well. And like I mentioned as well, during this time frame was also their earnings. So once again, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Have you been buying, selling, holding? Where do you see Virgin Galactic going in the short term? And potentially as well, do you see it surviving? Do you think ultimately it is going to go down the Virgin orbit route potentially as well? So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Hopefully there will be some new analyst ratings coming down the pipeline fairly soon. The last one being March the 16th, and that was with Bank of America. And they did reduce their target to $3 from $4 previously. So once again, it is what it is. If you like a lot of this good information, click on the link in the description below and also the comments and play around. Interactive Brokers does have a lot of good information, such as even analyst forecasts, ratings, short selling, social sentiment, everything that I typically look at to prepare for a video as well. So definitely take a look at that. Very much worth it. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Virgin Galactic.